cow. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my homestead. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jared. Let me get some stuff pulled up here. I just got back home from running that errand to Walmart that we weren't able to do yesterday. If you didn't see those live streams or you didn't hear, our car broke down as we were going to Walmart last night. And so, everything worked out okay. We're home. We have the other car. So we do have another car. But we went to go do this errand today, and all this stuff started popping off. Like, I already knew that an attack by Iran was imminent. It's been imminent. They've been saying that it's been imminent over the last 24 to 48 hours. And there's been a lot of speculation about what this attack was going to look like. Some felt that it was going to be more reserved, just enough to send a message back to Israel, like, hey, you can't kill our generals, so as to not appear weak. But from what I've seen, as we've been out, it looks like it's the worst case scenario. That's what has been said. I'm going to look into it all right now. If you can hear I have Seva Adom up. That's the website that gives you alerts for rocket attacks, and it's just going crazy right now. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. So if you're here, let me know that you're here, where you're from. I'm going to leave the Seva Adom up so we can hear each time there's, I think most of these are drones. I think there are missiles coming in from Hezbollah and from Yemen, even from Yemen. And as to whether there's missiles coming from Iran, I don't know yet. At first they were thinking that there may be ballistic missiles, but then they said no, there hasn't been any indication of ballistic missiles yet. Let's see. There's 20 in the chat. Is anybody here? I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Just say hi. I want to make sure that the stream is up and running and I'm not just talking to myself. It looks like everything's right. Okay. So let me head back to over here. I'll put, let's do this. I'll do window. Give me just a second. I gotta close out of that. Not webcam. Yeah, we'll watch this right here. Okay. So that is a lot of alerts, and they just keep coming in. So knowing that this attack was probably going to take place, I had turned back on the Google Chrome extension to give you alerts for Israel whenever there's rocket alerts. And I've been waiting, and then as we were driving home, my kids called me, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, something's happening in Israel," because just all these alerts were going off. And my son, that's autistic, he's 7. He enjoys not obviously the attacks, but it's an exciting thing. It's just getting these alerts. It's whoa, what's going on? And we watched it a lot during the first part of the war, but then after a while, the rocket attacks from Gaza died down, and then Hezbollah has just been kind of off and on. But like I said, ahead of this attack, I decided to turn it back on, and all my kids were like, "Oh my gosh, what is going on right now?" Okay. Waiting for this to, let's see, zoom out. And then once this clears up right here, then we should be able to see the history, attacks within the last 24 hours. I want to see that to see compare it to what I've seen in the past, because I don't have a sense of that right now. Okay, here we go. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, these are the largest attacks that I have seen since this war started. So I'm going to click on this one. I guess this was probably the initial wave. This one right here. It says 13 minutes ago. So let's click on this. Yeah, and just look at all those alerted areas. Let's see. Let me go like that. Does that? Okay. So Jerusalem. There's Hebron. Where's Jerusalem? It's in this area. There it is. Oh, there were alerts in the Jerusalem area itself. Look at that. Jerusalem. let's look at some of the other alerts. So that was like the first one, and then there was another round 7 minutes ago. Yeah, that was also a lot. With this round of alerts not in Jerusalem, more to the south. But yeah, put together like these three sets of like alerts or whatever on Seva Adom. I have not seen anything this big. This one is 3 minutes ago, and that was also south of Jerusalem. And it looks like with all three of these, here, control. It looks like the Golan Heights, which is in the north of the country, it's a disputed area, but it's like on the border with like Lebanon and Syria. It looks like that area has been like a focal point of these attacks. Oh my gosh, this is just, you guys, this is great. Let me just like remind you too. So remember with last General Conference, October 2023, we had General Conference, okay, and then 7 days later, that's when this war started, on October 7th. That's when the war started. And then 7 days after that, that's when we had the annular eclipse that went over Utah. So it was like 777 in whatever. And so with what's going on right now, well, today's Saturday, and what happened last Saturday? General Conference. So, and then also we had this eclipse. So this might be a very interesting weekend. It already is. There's a lot of buzz right now about like what's going on. Let me check the chat really quick. Renee Walters, San Francisco Bay Area, California. Stephen Thompson, hi. Anton Hall, Fruit Heights, Utah. Or Anton, sorry, I don't know. Deborah Hecht, hi from Texas. Birdvis Knives, hi. Bob D, Meridian, Idaho. Jenny for hello. Stephen Thomas from Tasmania, Australia, cool. Emily Fisher, hi from Missouri. Mike Goodman, Saratoga Springs. Celinda Hurled, Cindy from Louisiana. Kelsey Hoon, hi from South Carolina. Crochet Mama just joined you. I was watching your video on the garments. What's going on? There's a massive attack right now going on. Iran is attacking Israel directly. And that's the first time during this war. It may be the first time in history. I don't know if Iran has ever been part of the other wars, like the 6-Day War, Yom Kippur War, or the War of Independence. I have to double check on that. But at least for this war, this is the first time that Iran has directly attacked Israel. If you don't know what's going on, I think it was sometime last week. You know, I was focused on other things. I was like focused on the Kirtland Temple and other stuff. But sometime I think last week, or like this week, Israel hit like the embassy of Iran in Damascus in Syria, and killed at least one general. I'll probably look that up right now too, because I'm a little bit fuzzy on the details. But they killed at least one, maybe two or more generals. And so everyone's been expecting when you okay. So if I remember right, Iranian generals have been killed already during this war. Like Israel has done targeted attacks on Hezbollah officers and leaders. And I think they've also killed a few Iranian, like the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps personnel as well, like higher ranking officers. But this is the first time that they attacked an embassy. And the standard is that an embassy, no matter what country it's in, if like we have an embassy in the UK, then that land that the embassy is on is United States sovereign territory. That's just how it works when it comes to embassies. So it's as though Israel had attacked Iran directly on their soil, even though it was in Damascus. And so Iran vowed that they would respond, and that's what's going on right now. Now, I don't hear any more alerts going off, so I'm going to go ahead and start looking into some stuff. Let me go to X. Well, actually, I think it was CNN. They said that, let's see, world's largest drone attack. I was looking on X, and they said that that's what CNN said. Let's see. Give me just 1 second. Well, if they said that, I'm not seeing it here. They have like a blog, like one of those like live blog things with updates. The latest update 7 minutes ago: Israeli air defenses intercept some Iranian strikes. IDF says aerial defense is fully operational and reiterates shelter instructions. That was 16 minutes ago. Let me see if I can track down that post that I saw. May have found it. Maybe not. I don't know. It's from Mario Nafal. So I've noticed he doesn't always get everything right, but he said that CNN said this is the largest UAV attack in world history. But I think the jury's still out on that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. Okay. An hour ago, Israeli airspace filled with Israeli fighter jets right now. Initially, they were thinking that they were going to like time the drone attack with ballistic missiles so that everything hits at the same time. But later on, they said that there wasn't any evidence of ballistic missiles being fired. From OSINT Defender, and this is a good I feel like this is a good reputable account. They're quoted a lot of time in like these different news outlets in their articles. U.S. defense and intelligence officials have now stated that the ongoing attack by Iran is the quote-unquote worst case scenario that Israel has been preparing for, and that this could cause a major war across the Middle East. Marco Rubio, an hour ago, the attack on Israel by the regime in Iran was going to be more extensive than initially expected. Israel Radar account on X: Israeli ambulance service in Eilat receives warning of incoming launches from Yemen, possibly coming in within minutes. News 12 reports. Eyes on southern Israel as well tonight. So if that's true, then Yemen is firing missiles, and we'll see if we can confirm that in a little bit. Yemen is firing missiles, and then I've seen Hezbollah has been firing missiles, and then you have these drones and potentially cruise missiles coming from Iran itself. So those are like the three parties that seem to be attacking Israel right now. But I'm going to see what else we can find. Israel Radar. Senior Israeli official: very significant retaliation to come against Iran. That's from 12 News in Israel. Elint News, 26 minutes ago: IDF confirms missiles launched from Iran. And I'm going to repost these just in case you want to like see what I'm looking at. You can follow me on X. So I'd like to know what kind of missiles that is, if it's like cruise missiles or ballistic missiles. Let's take a look at this video here. So this video said, this is from Intel Doge, video showing interceptions over Jerusalem. So that is over Jerusalem, and that must be what we were just looking at just a minute ago on Seva Adom, when we were looking at, not that one, like this one. Well, was it this one? Was it this first? Yeah, this one right here. See right here, the Jerusalem area. That must be what that looked like I'm going to repost that. Here's another one. BNO News, watch IDF intercepting Iranian targets in the Jerusalem area. What I would like to know is what would happen. What would happen? Hold on. I got Jen Stevens from the Christian Fire Poppy channel that's calling right now. Hey, Jen.
Hello?
Hey, I'm doing a live stream right now. Do you see what's going on in Israel?
Wait, what? No, what? I actually just got out of a wedding at the Portland Temple and a reception, so I've been driving and at the temple and at a wedding, so
Oh,
I don't know at all.
yeah, you might want to check the news, get on X and whatever, because Iran is attacking Israel right now. Like a really, really large attack with drones and missiles. And I'm doing a live stream as I'm speaking to you. Again, everybody, this is Christian Fire Poppy, so make sure to subscribe to her channel. So, can I call you later on tonight?
Yeah.
Did you have,
Sounds good.
did you have fun at the wedding?
Yeah, so good. Portland Temple's amazing.
I'll bet. Okay, well, I'll call you later tonight, and then feel free to watch the live stream, comment if you want to, but I'll talk to you tonight. All right, bye. Again, that's Christian Fire Poppy, Jen Stevens. Okay, so got that. Let me see what else we have. I'd also seen some things about like explosions in Iran. I don't know if that's true or not. Oh my gosh, that is so apocalyptic. Let's look at this one more time. I think this is the same video, but guys, that's Jerusalem. Doesn't that look like what you think of when you think about Armageddon, the siege of Jerusalem, the final war? Well, maybe not Armageddon, because that's like in northern Israel, but you know, the siege on Jerusalem, the final war, whatever you want to call it. I'm not saying that this is, but I'm not putting any limits. Who knows how it actually happens and looks like? Again, one of the themes of my channel is that I think it's hard to know exactly what things are going to look like. And over again, we've heard prophets and apostles say that prophecy a lot of times plays out in ways that you don't think, that you don't expect. You have preconceptions. You're like, no, this isn't it because da 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 da. And that could be true, but I'm not putting those limits on anything. I'm going to wait until after the fact, and then by that point, we'll know for sure. Ronald Dunlap, Russia planted the Russian flag near the Golan Heights last week. Russian soldiers are there and ready. Do you have like a source for that? That sounds pretty dramatic. I'm not saying that it's not right, but run, shoot, ski. I have lots of coworkers in Israel. Need to check if my work has put out anything relating to this. Yeah, you guys say a prayer right now for Israel and specifically for our friends of this channel, Rabbi Gerfine. He lives in Jerusalem. Adam Eliyahu Berkowitz, I just interviewed him just like a week or two ago. We were talking about the red heifers. He's in contact with the Temple Institute, and he lives in the Golan Heights. That's one of the areas that's being attacked right now. In all three of these like alerts on Seva Adom, all three of them have shown alerts in the Golan Heights. So say a prayer for Adam Eliyahu Berkowitz. Say a prayer for Samantha Siegel. She's the girl that I interviewed that she like discovered fish near the Dead Sea, and that made a lot of news. I interviewed her. Say a prayer for Elie Michel. He works with Israel 365. He's like a content director. I talked to him immediately after the attack happened on Israel on October 7th. He contacted me and we had a good conversation. So say a prayer for all of them. Am I missing anybody? There's also, I can't remember his name because it was so long ago, but there was like a Levite Nazarite that lives in Jerusalem. I think his name was Natan. Say a prayer for him as well. Okay. Albatron 22. Hi from Alan in New Zealand. Prophetic times at hand. Yeah, it seems like it. It sure does. Yvette Ward, pray for Israel. Celinda Harold, please be Careful reporting to folks from mainstream media, just a sincere I'm not worried about it unless like they're talking about something that's like political or you can tell that there's a bias. The CNN and other places can report, hey, there's missiles hitting Israel right now. And I understand what you're saying, but we can't go to the extreme that nothing that they say is ever true. They can report on things like earthquakes and wars, and it's when they start trying to sway your opinion on like social matters or politics or something like that's when you have to like take it with a grain of salt. So I'm aware mainstream media. I know, but let's not get just completely extreme where we don't trust anything from anybody. I'm not saying that that's you. Just El Paculi, Star, just announced on Newsmax, if Iran continues this through the night, Israel is going to unleash. All right. Well, let me get back to this. Let's try and stay on top of this. OSINT Defender, initial reports of an attack on U.S. forces at Erbil International Airport in northern Iraq, as well as Al-Assad Air Base in western Iraq. I'm wondering if like, it doesn't seem like they were successful at getting the people to mobilize during Ramadan the way that they wanted them to. They were wanting that to be the second phase of this war, and nothing really materialized. Whether that's just because the Palestinians weren't feeling it, or whether it's because Israel took appropriate measures and were able to squash it from happening. Nothing really happened during Ramadan, thank goodness. Ramadan is now officially over. I think it ended on the 9th, the day after the eclipse. So if that really was their intention, was to have that be like phase 2, like a big uprising during Ramadan, it failed. And now I don't know if they're really serious about it. They may use this as phase 2. Like I said, from what I've seen, Hezbollah and Yemen and Iran are all attacking right now. And now we just had this report of, I assume these Shiite militias in Iraq attacking U.S. forces there. So it may be like it seems like it's like a big thing, but who knows how big it's going to be, or if it's going to peter out. I don't know. Let me see what's going on here. Mario Nafal breaking. Iran claims that they have fired missiles. Now, just because they claim it doesn't mean that that's true. I guess we'll wait and see. He says, if this is true, it would take 12 to 15 minutes to reach Israel. And his post was from 6 minutes ago. And who knows when they originally said that. I'm not seeing any more alerts. The last alerts came in 21 minutes ago. I've also seen things about there being like waves of attacks. So there may be more waves to come. Interception seen in the skies of Amman, Jordan a short time ago. There's some video of that. So this is Jordan, Amman, Jordan. Elder Bednar was there like toward the beginning of my channel, I think. It may have been like early 2022. I'm not sure. But I remember him going to Amman, Jordan. There's like a branch of the church there. Elent News, Israeli air defenses now, Iron Dome, David's Sling, and fighter jets likely intercepting incoming Iranian drones and land attack cruise missiles. Yeah, so Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 likely intercepting Iranian medium-range ballistic missiles over Syria and Jordan. That was from 21 minutes ago. And before that, I thought I heard that there wasn't anything to indicate that they were firing ballistic missiles. I better open up some of these other, let's see, probably a good one right now would be Times of Israel. I'm sure that they have like a live blog going on. Oh, they're saying Iran launches over 100 drones at Israel in first ever direct attack. And I think when they say first ever, I think they're talking about the entire history of Israel, the state of Israel, and Iran. First. Okay. They don't really clarify, but I assume that that's what that means. It's just in the title of that article. Okay, now I'm going to their live blog. Four minutes ago, this is the Times of Israel. Senior Israeli official pledges significant response to Iran. Is there any getting out of this at this point? It's like each time, each side is going to be obligated to respond in some kind of way. Is it now the Chinese finger trap type thing where it just gets tighter and tighter and worse and worse? Is there a way out of this? I don't know. Let's see. Matthew Wilkinson, this attack has been telegraphed since April 1st. Iran feels they have to respond to the attack on their general/embassy, but Iran has been answering the phone when other nations have called them. They need to have this tit for tat, and chances are there will be no further escalation. The U.S. does do diplomacy with Iran through the Swiss. Yeah. Matthew Wilkinson, later on, drones are very slow relative to missiles. They can time them to arrive simultaneously. Yeah, that's what the talk was. I saw a bunch of that. I guess we're still in the middle of this event. Well, we'll have to wait and see as if it is gonna fizzle out. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna catch up with the chat. Lucy Woodstock, if you look at the church site, everything is in there. Pretty much the entire timeline. I agree. We are so close. Jacob Alley, I think we are closer to the second coming than we think. I agree with you. I'm of that frame of mind. And when it comes to the church website, Lucy, one of the playlists that I saved from like before, I deleted all my playlists and like started over, but one that I kept was where we read through the entire book of Revelation. Sorry, the entire book of Revelation, and then read what it said in the Institute manual. I think that's something that everyone should do. It would help cut down on some of these more, I think, misinterpretations of prophecy, because they clarify a lot in the Institute manual. I have that one. Oh yeah, and I have so I have one called Book of Revelation, chapter by chapter. It's 14 videos. And then Book of Daniel, chapter by chapter. And I did the same thing for the Book of Daniel. Those two books basically go hand in hand. The Book of Revelation is almost like a sequel, in a way, to the Book of Daniel, because they hit on the same themes, use some of the same imagery. "11 minutes ago, Biden meeting with national security team is still ongoing. U.S. President Joe Biden is still huddled with national security advisors in the Situation Room, according to a White House official." "12 minutes ago, explosions in sky reported in multiple parts of Israel and the West Bank." Okay, let's get caught up with X. Iranian missile debris in Jordan, if you want to see that. That looks pretty big. What? Okay. OSINT Defender. Wow. Iranian missiles seen in sky over the Knesset building. That's like their, that's like the equivalent of their, U.S. Capitol building where their legislative branch meets. So, yeah, you can see it right. Oh my gosh, look at this. So this is I guess this is the Knesset building right here in these blue lights. And then you see, missiles up here. Wow, Iranian missile seen in the sky over the Knesset building in the Israeli capital of Jerusalem. This entire attack will change everything about the Middle East. Um, I think that's probably right. It's probably a little bit too soon to say, but I think that's a safe bet. Oh, okay. So this video that we were just looking at of this missile, Elint News says, looks like the airframe to an Iranian medium-range ballistic missile. Yeah, I mean, I don't know like my missiles too well, but that looks too large to me. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but that looks too large to me to be like a cruise missile. That it looks like it's more like a ballistic missile. So, from Raw's alerts, breaking: President Joe Biden is set to address the nation from the Oval Office, but that was like 2 hours ago. I haven't seen anybody else say that, but Apex: the French Navy has been deployed to defend Israel from the incoming Iranian attacks. The Wall Street Journal reports. 2 minutes ago, Israeli officials say 99% of Iranian assault intercepted so far. Ynet alerts reports U.S. military intercepts more Iranian drones in eastern Jordan via 12 News. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that was it? Are we done with this attack, or do you think there's more waves coming in? What I was reading before seemed to indicate that there were going to be multiple waves, with each one being bigger than the last. I couldn't tell if they were like talking about within like the same night, within hours, or if it was going to be like across a few different days. I don't know. I-24 News, English: initial reports of Israeli airstrikes in Damascus. Syrian media reports. Here's another video of this is from Noga Tarnopolsky. She's like a big like anti Netanyahu person, but she is like really on top of stuff. She says more footage from downtown Jerusalem. And it seems like that would have been from this attack right here. There were like these kind of like three different, I don't know, waves, or I don't know how Seva Adom breaks it up, but it like breaks it up into like different waves, I guess. So the most recent one was 31 minutes ago, and then before that 36 minutes ago, and then 49 minutes ago. So it was the like, oh, let me double check. I think it was that first one that hit or that was over. Yeah, that first wave is the one and only one that was like over Jerusalem. That's the first one. Dang. And then here's the second one, which is more south of Jerusalem. And then here's the most recent one, 32 minutes ago at this point, even further south of Jerusalem. And then all of them included attacks on the Golan Heights up here. Right there. This first one also So this first one seems to be more widespread. You had a bunch down here in the south, but then you had the Jerusalem area, and then this area right here east of Tel Aviv. But Tel Aviv is not in any of these alerts. Like there were no alerts in the Tel Aviv area. I'm anticipating that there's going to be another wave soon. And when I say soon, I don't know if that's like an hour or two, but like relatively soon. Carl Ribeiro, in the footnotes of Isaiah 4:1, it talks about a shortage of men because of war. I feel like this could be the start of that. Yeah, it could be. Elizabeth, this is so bad. Barbara Short O'Brien did Israel not attack Iran first? They did. They attacked the embassy. In fact, let me look that up right now. Okay, Israel attacks Iranian embassy, because I wanted to get the details, because I know at least like one Iranian general was killed in that. Yeah, here we go. Associated Press. Israeli strike on Iran's consulate in Syria killed 2 generals and 5 other officers, Iran says. Okay, Monday. What day was that? So that was like the 1st of April. And here we are about 2 weeks later. And this is happening. So, yep, that's how it's gone. Lucy Woodstock, thank you. So appreciate your posts. Smiley face. Carl Ribeiro, hey Jared, I sent you an email regarding a quote from Journal of Discourses. I don't know if you've seen it yet. I don't know either. I get thousands of emails. I'll see if I can look out for that. Thank you for sending it. Adventures in RV, some take longer to get there. Janet Manning, I think there is more coming in. I feel that this could be the Armageddon that it talks about in Revelation. It could be. What if it's the way that it plays out is you have, if things get like really, really crazy, you get more and more people involved in this war, conflict, Palestinians themselves, and there starts to be chaos in Jerusalem itself, and you have all these missiles coming in. And what if like it gets so bad, so many missiles, that in order to save Israel from being destroyed, Christ has to come and stop the attack? Maybe that's how it'll happen. There's already been, again, I've made the case where, like, when it talks about Israel, the siege on Israel and the women being ravished and stuff like that, I don't know that the Old Testament prophets would have had any way to describe the modern day nation state of Israel other than just calling it Jerusalem, like almost like calling the entire country Jerusalem. Now, I don't know, but that was one of the main features of the October 7th attack, was the brutality of it, and Israel having like this incursion or like little invasion onto their territory from the Gaza Strip, and civilians taking the brunt of that attack and being taken captive. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is what fulfills prophecy regarding this final war. We'll just wait and see. Adventure in RV, Jerusalem, crying face. Lance Carl, I hope this isn't the prophecy your vision. Okay. I hope this isn't the prophecy your vision that Sarah Minute was talking about in There Is No Death. I don't know what that's talking about. Celinda Hurled, I agree with you. This is going to escalate into more attacks. All right, let's go back to X. I'm going to try and repost all these ones that I'm showing in case you want to like go back. If like you want to go back and see what, oh my gosh, that is crazy. Okay, look at this. Here is video of the Dome of the Rock, and well, yeah, you don't see Al-Aqsa Mosque back there, but Dome of the Rock, and you see these, I guess, missiles overhead. Of course, that's not like it doesn't look like it's directly over the Temple Mount, but that's not something that you want to see at the Temple Mount. You don't want to see things like that in the air. That is pretty dramatic. Jeez Louise. That post was from 2 minutes 2 minutes ago, but it's probably from that initial attack, I'm guessing. Oh, here's like a better, this is like, here, you can see it better here, I think. It's like bigger. So, from Sprinter Factory, another video of the missiles flying above Al-Aqsa Mosque. Again, this is the Dome of the Rock, and he knows that because I think this account is like, I think he's a Islamist. I'm not sure, but they call the entire thing the Al-Aqsa compound. So I think that's more like what he's referring to. He knows that this isn't Al-Aqsa Mosque. That's the Dome of the Rock, but Al-Aqsa is like on the other side, I believe. Or the video may be, I can't tell. If I were to guess, I think Al-Aqsa is on the other side. I could be wrong. More posts about intercepting 99% of the missiles launched. So that's talking about missiles, not drones. Um, 9 minutes ago, this is from Steve Lookner. He's the one that does the other YouTube channel called Agenda Free TV. I really like him, both personally and his content. He's quoting from Haaretz, quote, IDF. Ballistic missile barrage launched from Iran has concluded. Drones and cruise missiles expected. So Steve Lookner just put that 9 minutes ago. And at the time that he posted that, he was posting something that was from 11 minutes before 9 minutes ago. So maybe we're in for more. Here's another view of the skies above the Temple Mount. Not as good as that other video, but it's still pretty crazy. I'll repost that. These are really crazy images, you guys. This is very dramatic. Again, I believe that when it comes to signs of the times, when you have something that catches your attention, then that's a prime time for the Lord to send a message and have it be a sign. I wouldn't ignore it when you see scenes like that above the Temple Mount, especially during a war like this, a war that's not like the previous wars. This is essentially Israel's fourth existential war. The previous three were the War of Independence, and then the 6-Day War, and then the Yom Kippur War. And this war started almost exactly 50 years to the day of the Yom Kippur War in the same way. It was a surprise attack. It was on a Jewish holiday. So, but this one has been extremely deadly, especially for the Palestinian side. Of course, some of those numbers are disputed, but I don't think there's any doubt that a lot of people have died during this war. And I'm talking like relatively speaking to the other wars. I have a spreadsheet that shows that. Jacob Alley, should we add this to the timeline, Christian? Well, actually, my name's Jared, but yes, we should. I need to there's a bunch of stuff I need to add to the timeline spreadsheet. It's hard to keep up with all the spreadsheets. I do my best. Um, Ronald Dunlap, those are mostly Iron Dome and David Sling missiles you're seeing. The David Sling, I remember that was like a new weapon system. I think the first time it was used was before the war. There was like a operation against Hamas because in that year, in 2023, there were skirmishes at the Temple Mount that resulted in Hamas firing a lot of rockets, and I think that was the first time they used David Sling. And I think it's like this like advanced system. It's like I think it's specifically to intercept like ballistic missiles. I think I want to look that up really quick. David's Sling system. Designed to intercept enemy planes, drones, tactical ballistic missiles, medium to long range rockets, and cruise missiles. Yeah, I think it's like a little bit more advanced than the Iron Dome. I think the Iron Dome is like good enough for like the typical rocket attacks. I don't know. It's something like that. Adventuring RV, supposedly they are only hitting military targets. Yeah, I guess we'll find out in coming hours or days. Rodney AD, October 7th was the first day of Feast of Tabernacles on the Enoch calendar. This attack is on the first day of Passover on the Enoch calendar. That's cool. I'm not like really big on the Enoch calendar, but that's neat. Harold Martinez, Fox News reporter, was describing the missiles or drones attacking as stars falling from the sky. That's interesting. Is that in an article or was that like during like a video, like a video interview? Olive Main Design Studio. I just talked to her today. This is Shauna. She does like some really very good like painting of Christ, and she has some prints that you can order, or you can download like the digital version and then print it out yourself. I'm going to be advertising her on the channel and on Facebook. She says, it's so sad, frowny face for both sides. Just so sad. Yep, it is. Adventure in RV. This could all go very, very bad with us helping Israel and Russia helping Iran. Catch the Buzz, described as stars falling from the sky. Wow. I wish I could find that. I'm going to see if I can find it. Fox News, stars falling from the sky. Well, it doesn't look like it's on an online article, so I can't verify that. Not that I doubt you, person that said that, but let me take a look at these live blogs. Um, 4 minutes ago, Channel 12 quotes senior Israeli official pledging unprecedented response to Iran attack, urging Israelis not to go to bed. And here's the full thing. That was just like the title. It says, not to go to bed due to what is coming Tehran's way. So it sounds like Israel's going to attack Iran tonight. Let's see. What time is it there? What time is it in Israel? I'm not going to do the math. I've never been good at doing math in my head. They're 8 hours ahead of us here, Central Time. Right now it's 2:44 a.m. So don't go to bed. It's going to be morning time over there in about, like, the sun's going to be coming up like 4 to 5 hours from now. About. So, yeah, it's probably going to be happening pretty soon. Oh my gosh. Let me show you this video. Video showing an impact in the Negev region. Nine minutes ago from Apex. A senior U.S. official tells ABC News that Iran has launched an additional 70 missiles. The country had earlier launched 80, bringing the total to 150. So if that's the case, then I assume that we're going to be seeing alerts going off in a little bit here, I would imagine. Yeah, no kidding. Emmanuel Mani Fabian. Surreal footage of Iranian attack over Jerusalem's Temple Mount. Is that one that we already saw? But in case you're joining the live stream right now, that is just that is just apocalyptic looking. Not a good sign. Trey Yings, he's the Fox News reporter. I really like him. Fighter jets over Tel Aviv 6 minutes ago. Steve Lookner is reporting on what ABC News said about 70 more missiles. Missiles. What? Oh, no, never mind. Okay. Give it a little bit of time. Go back to the chat. Plaid, definitely paying attention to this, though it is strange to give hours for your enemy to lock onto the targets. Adventuring RV, U.S. base in Erbil just came under attack. Yeah, we saw that earlier in the stream. Harold Martinez, a live report on Fox on YouTube. Kevin Roberts, is there a holy Islamic holiday today? I don't believe so. Ramadan ended, I think, on the 9th. Let me see. Calendar of Islamic holidays. Excuse me. That's for 2023. Okay, 2024. 3 days ago was Eid ul Fitr. I'm not sure what that is. And then the next one looks like it's going to be the Hajj. And that I believe that's the time period when, you do the Hajj, like you make pilgrimage to Mecca. That's from June 13th to June 15th. So nothing until June. I think Elder Kieran, he did like a post because I think he's like over the Middle East. And I think it's because of his background, how he some of his childhood, he spent time in growing up in Saudi Arabia, and then as an adult, I think he worked there as well. Well, I know that he was there. Yeah, he worked in both as a child and as an adult Saudi Arabia. But I remember him doing a post saying like happy, Eid ul Fitr or whatever. And then yeah, it says that Ramadan ended on the 9th. Plaid, friends from Israel having all this. Okay, friends from Israel having all this take a toll. I've been praying daily for the peace of Jerusalem, Psalm 122:6, studying Hosanna, since we are to live in the spirit of it. Hebrew equals please save us. Yeah, Hosanna means like please save us or save now. And then Plaid continues, wonder if you've already covered President Nelson having us live in spirit of Hosanna, what it means in Hebrew with backdrop of the conflict in the Near East. No, I haven't really looked at it from that angle. No, maybe I'll look into that later. Ronald Dunlap, Damona is in the Negev desert. What or who is Damona? Jason Yates, hello from Oregon. Love your content, Jared. Please keep up the great work. Thank you, Jason. I'll do what I can. JT Smith, the stars falling from heaven are the other half of the solar eclipse scripture. Plaid, BYU Jerusalem Center update, 15th of March, 2024. Quote, we have taken the opportunity provided by the regrettable suspension of student programs to undertake extensive renovations of this now 36-year-old facility. Ooh, that's interesting. BYU Jerusalem Center renovations. Yeah, looks like it's just right on. It's on the BYU Jerusalem Center's website. The Jerusalem Center and its grounds have been closed since mid-October 2023, will remain closed to visitors and tours until at least early August. Well, based on what's happening today, it may go longer than that, unless the second coming, and when I say second coming, I mean Christ coming to the Jews, unless it happens before that. We have taken the opportunity provided by the regrettable suspension of student programs to undertake extensive renovations of the now 36-year-old facility. Okay. It'd be interesting if those renovations included preparing it to become a temple, and not like the type of temple that we have where you do ordinances there, something more like the Kirtland Temple, where it's like an administrative building, like a temple where like Christ reigns from. Betty Horn just caught this. Janet Manning, for the scriptures in Revelation. Okay, wait. For the scriptures in Revelation say that nation will be fighting against. I think it's began. I really feel like this could be the final war, and that it started on October 7th. The timing is weird. 7 days after October General Conference, 7 days before the eclipse that went over Utah. And now, today, 7 days after General Conference, there's this like really big escalation. The first time that Iran has directly attacked Israel. 777. And I guess I'll bring this up if I can find it. The day that the war broke out in Israel, October 7th, Jenica and I were doing a drive. We were running errands. And we took a different way home. And because we took that different way home, that morning I had started hearing stuff about rockets being fired from Gaza. and it was like making a lot of news. And we were driving home. Dang it, am I going to be able to find it? Give me a second, guys. Videos, maybe I need to go here. Nope. Okay, August, September, October. Where did I save that video? Some of you already know what I'm talking about. Give me just 1 minute. July. No, let's go in the opposite direction. Is there any way that I still have it in the camera roll, like be like where your photos automatically go when they're updated? Give me just 1 more minute. I'm sorry. Still no like rocket alerts though. November, October. Oh, here it is. Okay, good. I guess I just haven't I need to put this in its own folder. Okay, so let me open this up and then I'll put it on the screen once it opens up. So this is kind of weird. I just saw this fall out of the sky. Okay. So we were driving home. This was October 7th. Okay. We were driving home and we took this way that we wouldn't have gone. And we saw like this thing falling out of the sky, like slowly falling out of the sky with like a parachute. Saw it land in a field, stopped the car, walked over there, and it was a rocket. It was like a hobby rocket. I've never in my life just randomly come across a hobby rocket falling out of the sky with a parachute. This is the first time in my life, and it had to be on the day that rockets were being launched at Israel and the October 7th attacks were taking place. Like, really? You know, so, you know, this is just like a personal experience, but what are the chances of that? That's so weird. So, you know, this is just like a personal thing, but I feel like it was highlighting that this is not a normal war. It's not a normal conflict. Ronald Dunlap, Dimona is Israel's nuclear site. Oh, and you had said earlier Dimona is in the Negev desert. Oh, what? What just happened? Okay, whatever. Okay, well, we'll wait for the news to come out. That's crazy. Betty Horn makes me wonder how President Holland feels about this. Yeah. After him giving that talk, it seems like he was meant to live longer, be preserved so that he could give that talk. Plaid, or if President Holland's weeks or months could be related to the conflict in Israel, needing to be here for this time. You know, it's interesting that you guys are saying that because it was President Holland that was instrumental in getting the BYU Jerusalem Center constructed. You know, the three apostles that I think of that seem to have the most connections with the Middle East are President Holland, Elder Bednar, because he was over the Middle East. He's not now. It's changed. But I think that Elder Kieran has taken over that spot. Those are like the three like Middle East apostles right now. If you want to say it like that. So that is a very intriguing observation. Not just the fact that his life was preserved seemingly for that general conference talk where he started the conference talking about the need to be serious and not be a nominal member in the church, and to be recognized by Christ as his people when he comes. So not just that, but maybe he's meant to live to see whatever is happening right now. Gaming says, no one knows when it could be, but if so, that will be really fast. Yeah. Rodney AD, a few examples. President Nelson became an apostle on the first day of Passover on the Enoch calendar. What also is interesting is this whole concept of President Nelson and President Oaks reaching their 40th anniversary as apostles. That took place the day before the eclipse on the 7th, April 7th. And now, about a week later, this is happening. 40 is a number of testing and trials and whatever, but it's also a number of like I've said before, purifying and cleansing. Again, the flood took place over the course of 40 days and 40 nights. And then Israel wandered into Israel for 40 years for those older generations that lived in Egypt to pass away first. So it's like Israel had to be cleansed before they could possess the land. And maybe that's what's been going on for the last 40 years during this period of time that they've been apostles. And now they're in the first presidency. President Nelson is the president of the church. President Oaks is the first counselor in the first presidency. Maybe that was a 40-year period to prepare us to enter the promised land and step into the millennium. Maybe this whole thing about bridges, not many people watch that video. I did a video about bridges, and I think it's important. I think that these eclipses were like bridges, the bookend towers, like Elder Stevenson said, of a bridge taking us from the old world into the millennium. Again, it was Elder Stevenson who, in October 2017, started out his talk pointing out, hey, look what just happened on August 21st, 2017. First, it was President Monson's 90th birthday. And there was an eclipse on that day, the first one in 99 years to go across the United States. And then this most recent conference, the day before the next eclipse, he talked about bridges, and he used the word bookends. And it's interesting because I think the Lord speaks to us in ways that we understand. And if we think about President Monson being 90 years old, and now we have President Nelson, and we have this next eclipse, and he's 99 years old, it kind of makes you think of percentages. It makes me think of percentages. Going back in time, you'd be at like 90%. Now you're at 99%. Maybe on President Nelson's birthday, we're going to be 100% of the way there to whatever event, whatever appearance of the second coming. It's a lot of stuff to think about. Janet Manning, it also says that the Ephraim River will dry up. Oh, you mean the Euphrates? And they will walk over it so that the kings might be prepared. Revelation 16:12. Yep. I've done videos about that. The Euphrates River has actually been drying up, and it's associated with the final war. Yeah. Gen C, and he emphasized that we have to pray always. Yeah, that's what President Holland said. J.T. Smith, during the Battle of Gog and Magog, two apostles are going to die and then be resurrected. Yep. Betty Horn, I watched your video about bridges. Good job. I'm glad that you did. Janet Manning, this is such an exciting time, isn't it? The old prophets have talked about this time. Don't you think that they would have been excited for this time? Yeah, excited, but also sorrowful, because it's a good time for the righteous. It's the great day of the Lord for the righteous, but it's the dreadful day of the Lord for the wicked. So it's like, it's a very bittersweet time. I know the Lord's going to have some kind of way for us to deal with what is going to happen at the burning. You would think that's going to bring a lot of trauma. People that you love that are living a telestial life right now, being cleansed off the face of the earth. That's going to be hard, but I'm thinking that maybe the Lord will bless us with extra healing and understanding to get through that. The little homestead company at Janet Manning, it so is. There are sad things happening, but it is the most incredible time to be alive and witness prophecy literally taking place. You know that Christ's return is so close. Lucy Woodstock, sorry, keep hitting the wrong button. For 42 months before they are killed, correct? Not sure. Yeah, that's the way it talks about it in the book of Revelation. Again, this is my own interpretation. I feel like a lot of those numbers are symbolic. They all have to do with 3.5. 3.5 is a symbol of arrested development. It's a symbol of apostasy. We learned this in the Institute student manual. So are they literally going to be preaching for 42 months? I don't think so. I think that it represents this last dispensation and the cumulative visits of every prophet and apostle that's gone to Israel. And they talked to leaders in Israel. They've talked to Benjamin Netanyahu in 2016, President Holland and Elder Cook. They met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So I think a lot of people have this idea that there's going to be two prophets in Old Testament clothes, maybe glowing and walking the streets of the Jewish quarter in Jerusalem and doing like street preaching. You know, I don't think that's the case. This is just my own opinion. I don't think that's the case. We talk so many times about, everyone knows that Israel existing for this long, for having won the wars that it has, they've all been miracles, right? And we know that the two prophets are the ones that hold off the Gentile armies and forces from destroying Israel. I think that's what's been going on ever since its inception, especially with the War of Independence, which it was so unlikely that they would win that war. We're not privy to everything that happens with the first presidency, with the prophet. Surely there are things that they do that we don't know. I think that Israel, when it's all said and done and we look back, we'll see that it's been our prophets that have been preserving Israel all the way up until this time. And we're not privy to all the communications that they have with the leaders of Israel. So I don't think it's going to be a thing where, you know, you're going to be watching the news and they're going to do live coverage of the two prophets in the Jewish quarter of Jerusalem in Old Testament clothes. I think it's been happening in a very practical way. And at some point, I think two of them probably will die. Maybe it's going to be President Holland. And I'm not so sure that they have to literally be in Jerusalem for that to happen, because anyway, I'm not going to, hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Glenda Wheeler, Glenda Wheeler, can't wait until we are at 100%. I know, me neither. Heart, sunflower, heart. Okay, let me get back to the updates here, see if anything else is going on right now. 7 minutes ago, CNN, U.S. forces do not appear to have been targeted in Iran's attack, officials say. Germany's foreign minister says Iran's attack puts entire region at risk of plunging into chaos. That's probably a pretty good assessment. I don't think it takes a genius to come to that conclusion. Times of Israel. The UN chief strongly condemns Iran's attack on Israel, calls for immediate cessation of these hostilities. Oh, guys, look, it's over. The UN chief said you guys need to stop. Iran, 4 minutes ago, Iran vows further defensive measures against military aggression. Quote, Iran, if necessary, will not hesitate to take further defensive measures to safeguard its legitimate interest against any military aggressions and unlawful use of force. Six minutes ago, report. Oh, they're just reporting what ABC News reported about the like the 70, I think it was like 70 additional missiles for a total number of 150 that have been involved in this attack. Let me check X. So I'm going to tell you what I feel in my heart of hearts right now. I could be wrong. I don't think there's going to be any more attack from Iran tonight. I do think that Israel is going to make good on its word to retaliate against Iran. They said it was going to be. I'd have to find the post again, but I think they used the word unprecedented in their response to Iran. Oh, well, no, here it is right here. It just happened to come up. Instant news alerts. Israel planning significant response to Iran's unprecedented attack on its territory. That's from Channel 12 News. Anyway, that's what I think. If I had to guess right now, I would say that the attack from Iran is over, but I'm not an expert in any sense of the word. That's just what I feel. I don't know about you. Only time will tell. I also wouldn't be surprised if we get more alerts coming in. World Source News 24/7. The IDF confirms several Iranian missiles hit the IDF base. There's minor damage. 3 minutes ago, Trey Yingst, the Israeli military confirms that ballistic and cruise missiles are being used in attack against Israel. Okay, so there are ballistic missiles. So I guess now that's confirmed. Before there was doubt, but now it's confirmed. According to Trey Yingst, he's a reporter with Fox News. Ballistic and cruise missiles are being used in the attack against Israel, along with attack drones. Israel radar, IDF spokesman, most Iranian ballistic missiles intercepted by Israeli air defenses. A few land in Israel. IDF fighter jets intercept some 10 cruise missiles. Army base sustains light damage. Iranian assault not over yet, according to Channel 12. Excuse me, Channel 12 News. Maybe I should check their website. I can't find it. That's just like for the channel, not their like news program. Although, let's see, another good one to follow. Okay, give me a second. News. We can follow channel 7. Yeah, channel 7 says IDF spokesman, incident has not yet ended. Israeli Air Force jets shooting down threats outside Israeli territory. So, okay, let's check. There's another place I want to go. Yeah, Haaretz is also saying report in Iran attack on Israel isn't over. Israeli Defense Minister Glant speaks with U.S. Secretary of Defense Austin. Oh, here's a new number. This is from 6 minutes ago. IDF over 200 missiles and drones launched from Iran. So that's another 50 on top of that other number of 150. Most intercepted. Army base in southern Israel sustained minor damage. So let's bring that over there, that over there. Here, give me a second. Well, I'll add that later. I don't know if Hezbollah did launch any rockets because I haven't seen any reports of that. Like early on, maybe it was just kind of like the fog of war, but I haven't seen anybody talking about Hamas launching rockets. Although there were reports of Yemen launching rockets. Penny Tidwell, hey Jared, just hopping on. I'll have to rewatch to catch up on what you're saying. Smiley face. Yeah, you might want to watch this. There's been some pretty incredible video, specifically over the Temple Mount. It was looking pretty crazy there. It was looking biblical. Janet Manning, I feel that it is over with for right now or for tonight. However, I think that they're going to come back worse than what they did before with their drones. Matthew Wilkinson, Iran's defense ministry said they are done unless Israel does something else stupid in retaliation, per BBC. Maritime event, Golden Gate Bridge. Elder Stevenson described the Golden Gates Bridge as having bookend towers and weight-bearing twin towers soaring above the ocean. Yep. Did you watch my video about bridges? Everyone should watch my video about bridges. I guess the thumbnail just wasn't attractive enough. I don't know, but it was a good video. Gaming, remember our night is their day. Yeah. Right now, oh, did I close out of it? Israel. Right now it's 3:18 a.m. in Israel. Plaid, Biden returns to Washington as Iran launches attack on Israel. Reuters, how will U.S. respond? Kevin Roberts, the U.S. has sent one of its two E-11A aircraft from Riyadh towards Israel, according to Flight Radar 24. What are the E-11s? Let's see. E-11A. battlefield airborne communications node. All right, well, that's cool. Ugg says, is something supposed to happen on the 21st? I mean, on the 21st of April? Not that I'm tracking. I don't know. On Maritime event, she did watch my video on bridges. Thank you. SM, Prime Minister Netanyahu and U.S. President Biden are currently talking on the phone. Penny Tidwell, I don't even really look at your thumbnails. I just make sure I watch every video. See, that's the right attitude right there. Laughing face, like rolling. Ooh. Matthew Wilkinson, BBC. IDF says more than 200 drones, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles so far. Or wait, ballistic missiles? Missile? I don't know. They also said most of them were in the south, in the uninhabited desert. Eve Dame says, Christian Fire Poppy talked about Elder Stevenson saying that the Golden Gate Bridge had twin towers too. Matthew Wilkinson says, I typo mucho. Well, I'm going to give it another couple minutes. I'll probably wrap this up in about 5 to 10 minutes. BNO News 7 minutes ago. IDF says Iranian cruise missiles are still heading for Israel. Attack has not yet ended. Phil Stewart. Saudi Arabia calls on all parties to exercise the utmost levels of restraint and spare the region and its people dangers of wars. Okay, if you requested for it, then you got it. You guys, it was too much. Everyone just calm down. I know that they have to make those statements. I know that they have to do it. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know that it really accomplishes much. Maybe it does. I don't know. Betty Horn, have to go. See y'all later. Bye, Betty Horn. Oh yeah, Eve Dame, April 21st, the Devil's Comet, otherwise known as 12P Pons Brooks. It's also been known as the Millennium Falcon Comet. It's that comet that's been like doing a lot of weird things. There's been like these eruptions. It's changed color. It's changed shape. It's doing all sorts of interesting things. But anyway, Eve Dame continues. It's supposed to be the closest to Earth on the 21st of April. From my understanding, Passover on the Torah calendar is on April 21st. I don't know the Torah calendar unless you're just referring to the Hebrew calendar. I know that Passover is like the last week of April this year. On the Hebrew calendar, the one that they use. Oh, excuse me. It starts at sundown on the 22nd of April and then goes until the 30th of April. What was I just looking at? I feel like I was looking at something. Matthew Wilkinson, no. BBC says the Israeli Defense Council has already met and promised a military response. Yeah, well, they were basically saying that a while ago, like over the last couple hours. So they said, I don't know if you missed this part, but they said they told Israelis not to go to sleep and to expect an attack on Iran or something like that. wonder if I could find that post again. I'm sure that I reposted it. Maybe I didn't. Well, they said something like that. So it seems, based on that post, if that was accurate, that because again they said don't go to sleep, and right now it's 3:18 a.m. in Israel, so people would start waking up, probably around 6, typically 6 or 7. So probably within the next couple hours, if they make good on that threat. 2 hours ago, I don't know where this is coming from, but this is from the Clash Report. Israel in a message to Iran, quote, "Tonight there will be an earthquake in Iran." And then 1 hour ago, from Channel 12 News, senior Israeli official, very significant retaliation to come against Iran. Okay. Let me check out new posts. OSINT Defender says Israel's about to make shock and awe look like child's play. Well, if they do that, then I think that's definitely going to start a war. I feel like the way things went tonight, maybe things could cool down. Maybe I'm just being naive. Oh, here it is. Okay, I better repost this. So, Channel 12 quotes a senior Israeli official pledging an unprecedented response to Iran's attack and urging Israelis not to go to bed due to what is coming Tehran's way. So, whatever that means. Let me check some of these websites. Oh, hey, everyone. Spain and Portugal call for de-escalation. Finally, somebody has said something about this. Nine minutes ago, Iran's Revolutionary Guards warned U.S. any act against Iran will see reciprocal response. Like what? Any act by Israel or the United States? What do you... Asserting any support or participation in action against Iran's interests will be met with a decisive response. Or whatever. Okay, I'm going to come back to the chat. Plaid said Passover is April 22nd. Yeah. Okay, so if we're talking about the Seder, like the Passover meal, yes. The meal will be eaten after sundown on April 22nd. And then you have the entirety of Pesach, which is Passover. It's also known, like this period is also known as the Feast of Unleavened Bread, because you're not supposed to eat anything with leaven during that time. And then you also have Bikurim, which is it seems like the Jews have changed it. Like I have to like refresh myself, but I think the way that it was during Christ's time is that Bikurim, or first fruits, was on the second day of Pesach, if I remember right. But then they changed it, I believe, or maybe it's reverse. Maybe the way that they did it before is it was on the first Sunday or the first day after the first Sabbath during Pesach. But I'd have to like go watch those videos I did again and remind myself. But anyway, yeah, the Passover Seder will be eaten after sundown on April 22nd. Yes. Cynthia Christopherson, just saw this and feel conference was so preparatory for this prophecy, these prophecies. Oh, Higher Holier History is here. This is Jessica, the girl that I interviewed just a couple days ago, the one that made it possible for me to go to Kirtland. And she told us on the phone that she's going to change it to Higher Holier Home. But make sure to subscribe to her channel. In fact, before I read her comment, let me put the link for her channel in the chat. You can also find it on my homepage under featured channels. Here it is in the chat. Send. Excuse me, everybody. Excuse me. Okay, she says, Jared, could this event start the peace treaty? I don't know. If you're, I don't know. Maybe. Anything's possible. Janet Manning, hey Jared, I watch all your videos. It may take me 20 minutes at each time to watch it for your longer ones, but I do watch them. Thank you. Thank you, Janet. I'm glad that you enjoy them. Eve Dame, ugh, and then an emoji of a comet. A few people are talking about April 21st as a possible day. Christian Fire Poppy is definitely in tune with the spirit. Dove leaves. Yeah, she is. And I can't wait to talk to her after I'm done with this live stream. I'm going to be calling her. Matthew Wilkinson, maybe I should buy a bicycle. Plaid says, interesting that President Holland was called as General Authority 70, April of 1989. BYU Jerusalem Center was dedicated May 1989. Yeah. I think that he is, I think that he's like really significant because of his involvement with the BYU Jerusalem Center, his connections with the Middle East. He's the one that met with Benjamin Netanyahu, along with Elder Cook. Bond, Zach Bond. Thanks, Jared, for keeping us posted. High five with both hands. Janet Manning, just a shout out. Got to get some prayers to be able to have my house so quickly so that I may be able to start moving. Yes, prayers Janet Manning's way. Kathleen Everett, I felt that conference was a voice of warning for tough times to come, and the talks felt like positive strategies for enduring tribulations. Yep. And the big thing that they were stressing was prayer, right? President Holland was talking about prayer. That was a good portion of his talk. And then also going to the temple, as well as getting on and staying on the covenant path. And once you do, part of staying on the covenant path is wearing the temple garment if you've been endowed. Eve Dame, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Only 104 thumbs up, 270 in chat. Please leave a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Plaid, Holland was president at BYU when BYU Jerusalem was founded, and a general, like a General Authority 70. I'm going to keep praying for President Holland's health and know he was prepared for this time. Also, our prophet and apostles we sustained. In Higher Holier History has like praying hands. I think that's for you, Janet. or just maybe for all these different situations. Let's go back to X. See what they're saying here. Okay, so there's a video by the IDF, by the IDF's official thing. And I'm going to, okay, Iran fired, okay, maybe I should do it like this. Iran fired hundreds of the most powerful missiles and drones directly at millions of Israelis. Iran has been attacking Israel for the past 45 years by ordering its vast proxy network to do it for them. Iran used to hide their terrorism. Here, let me pause it. Is that going to help? Behind other terrorists. This is no longer the case. Iran has come out of the shadows. And at this part, let me just show you again. If you haven't seen this yet, there's this incredible video. I'm not going to play it here because it's not the raw video. This is like the IDF's video, but let me just show you this shot of missiles over, like basically, maybe not directly over the Temple Mount, but definitely within. Like you had a good view of them from the Temple Mount. That's kind of crazy, but Iran has come out of the shadows to expose their true face, the face of a radical and irrational regime, and wants to end the entire free world. Directly launching a coordinated attack with missiles and drones at Israeli civilians from inside its own territory. This attack shows Iran's true colors, and that's it. And then it ends right there. So, I think, okay, just like this right here, this is from the Intel Crab 1 minute ago, and that's a wrap for at least now. And then they repost from IL Red Alert. The Home Front Command has declared that there's no longer a need to stay near bomb shelters throughout the country. Intel Doge, things come to a temporary close 49 seconds ago. So, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. If there are other waves of attacks, I don't think they're going to be like within the next couple hours, but what may happen within the next couple hours is Israel attacking Iran. That's like what it sounds like, some of these reports. Barak Ravid, breaking, this is 3 minutes ago. Israel calls for an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council over the Iranian attack. Check some of these other sites. Let me check Times of Israel. They're just talking about Israel wanting to convene a UN Security Council meeting. Let's check Channel 7. It doesn't seem like there were very many casualties from this. There were a couple from what I can tell, and then there was light damage to an army base. But it doesn't seem like they really accomplished much by way of like damage or casualties. So, okay, well, I think we're going to wrap this up right now. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it, see how things go. If something really crazy happens later tonight, then I'll hop back on and we'll do another live stream. Otherwise, we'll just have to wait until, Monday. I don't do any videos on Sunday. I don't post any videos on Sunday. Although if there's something like really, really big tomorrow, then I'll do a live stream. I just won't monetize it because sometimes we do need to talk about things as they're happening. So, all right. So I'm going to talk to Christian Fire Poppy now. She called like toward the middle of the stream, and I'm going to talk to her. She just got back from a wedding, of all things, a wedding. Just interesting. Okay, that's going to be it. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, not just to me, but to Higher Holier History. Again, I put the link for that in the chat. You can also go to my featured channels, so make sure to subscribe to her. And I'll talk to you guys later.